you been looking for a business podcast with hosts and guests who don't have a stick up their ass?
Yeah, I said it.
Damn! Well, if so, welcome to your new home, brother. This is My Fence Life. Woo! Our three passions are beer, bourbon, and business. And probably in that order. We're bringing on business owners who share tips, tricks, and behind-the-scenes stories to help your business be more successful. And we drink during the show. So no matter what industry you're in, pop a cold one and come on in. Welcome to the My Fence Life studio.
Hey, what's happening, Fence Lifers? We are on episode 85 of season 4. It's amazing. We just keep knocking them out the park. And guess what, guys? Tonight, we got the My Fence Life podcast along with
Protecting Your Radius podcast
with my buddy Nathan Downs. I wouldn't want to do a show with anybody else. Love this guy. So, hey guys, tonight we're all business. We're talking about issues that you deal with in your daily work day. We're going to be trash talking on other industry podcasts, if you even consider them a podcast. And easy ways to diversify to suppliers and how the tables have turned on them. And also how Dan Wheeler won first place in the local Fulton, Illinois kindergarten coloring book contest. You heard about that, huh, Nathan?
Excellent. Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Freaking grand champion Dan Wheeler.
Yeah. The Fulton Elementary newsletter came out, and there was a picture of Dan holding up a coloring book. All in the lines, man.
They're still cheering for him now.
Yeah. I think all the other kindergartner parents were a little upset, though. You know, this 30-year-old guy comes in and kicks his kids' asses in coloring, you know.
Side note, funniest thing ever. Kids, we got a new indoor football league team here in town, and we're at the game. We got season tickets. We're actually going tonight, right? And, like, everything's going on, and they said the kids were like, they're doing the little contests, you know, during the quarters. And I said, yeah, you know, a long time, like 10 years ago, I was down on the field and I had a dancing competition, and they were like, what? And I said, yeah. And my wife is dying laughing. And she goes, yeah, guess who his competition was? And I said, yeah, it was a 12-year-old girl who stood there and did nothing. So I'm out there doing the dirty bird and like doing all this stuff in the end zone. Homegirl's just standing there, and I'm like, I am going to lose so bad. And people are like, boo to me, just cheering her, and she's
So you won?
I'm like, no, hell no. They were going to choose the girl. I was like, I had no chance, but I'm out there looking like an idiot going, I was like, I got this in the bag. And as soon as she didn't do anything and she was mortally terrified, I was like, this is not going well for me. It's like, I lost so bad.
I didn't know this about you, man. I am like...
It was awesome. But yeah, I lost a dance competition during a football game in between the quarters to a 12-year-old girl.
Nice. Put that on your resume.
I should. So stupid.
Yeah, it would be great, man. Yeah. So anyway, but man, it's going to be a slam-packed show. We're going to have a good time. I wouldn't want to do it with anyone else other than this guy, Mr. Nathan Downs, Mr. Protecting Your Radius podcast. Mr. I'm golfing, so I don't have time to text or call Dan back because I'm too busy golfing. That's the same guy we're talking about. He's also known as Debbie Downer in some circles, and he's Mr. Midwest chapter president of the AFA, like it's a big deal or something. He likes to flaunt that, but it doesn't work here, buddy. We all know who you really are. So anyway, man, quick question. Are you a member of the FWA?
I am.
You are?
I am, actually.
So are you a free member or are you a paid business member?
I want to say I signed up as a free member when he first started it.
Right. Yeah. So we're members also.
I can look.
And Dylan was like, "Hey, we got a job that we're doing right now, a temp fence job." And he's like, "Man, I don't know how to figure this." And I was like, "You know what? Go to the FWA's website. He's got a contract on there for temp fence." And it came in nice. It was a spreadsheet. We entered everything in, told us exactly what we needed to do, and it was free.
So that is actually the same exact reason I became a member. It was for the temp fence rental agreement. I think Brian put that on there a year ago or something like that. When he first started, it was one of the first things he did. And I was like, dude, I need that. Bam.
Yeah. So we used it and did the job. So now we're trying to figure out some other issues with that deal. But yeah, it's working out well for us, man.
Nice.
So are you going to Vegas?
I am not going to Vegas. That's actually the same week the kids start school. We've got football. I'm a football coach and stuff like that. And I have a business to run and my own podcast to do and stuff. But I have actually talked to Brian, Dan, just so you know, and everybody watching knows, that there's a great chance that he's got a digital side to the event, right? So for people that can't go out to Vegas in August, there's going to be a whole other thing going on online, and there may be a chance that somebody you know is kind of spearheading some of that for him. So we'll see. Yeah, we've worked on some stuff. So yeah, we there's more to do. We don't need a lot of time to do it. So the cool thing is we could probably start really working on that in July and kind of hammer it down. But Brian and I have talked, I think, 2 or 3 times about it. So.
Well, look, guys, if y'all think Nathan Downs looks like Dom DeLuise, just mention it in the comments. We'll make sure and like it and comment on it because he is definitely Captain Chaos, Mr. Dom DeLuise himself. So
I need to get the mask and the cape one of these times. I need to. Made.
You know, Susan Worley has a Nacho Libre mask and cape.
That's awesome.
She dressed up as Nacho one year.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she just like moved up a spot on my Christmas list because of that. So, man, what's going on, bro? What is happening? Man. What's going on with you? I know you've been busy as shit. I've been busy. Man. We haven't had a whole lot of time to talk. I even accused you of distancing yourself from Dan Blanc, the My Fence Life podcast, and you were like, no, it's nothing like that. And I'm like, all right, let's record a show. Oh, I'm busy.
Yeah. Well, I had laryngitis last week when he asked me, so.
Oh, yeah, you did. That's right.
Yeah, that was brutal. Brutal. But man, we're on fire, dude. Everything's just popping. What I really noticed for us is right now, my negotiated commercial work is just like I got a couple big contracts and it's just steamrolling on top of itself. And if for anybody that's ever built a commercial division or does commercial work, you know that seems to be the case, right?
Yeah.
You get your foot in the door and then so-and-so calls you. And then it's just this big, spider web of activity and opportunity. But especially since I've done that for so many years, man, just able to pick it up so fast. And it's really good for us because we're getting into some of the scope of work that I would like to see us doing more of. But I'm the only one that has any, commercial experience at the company, like real, like long term.
Yeah.
So it's good. There's learning curves. There's things getting back everybody acclimated. Even some of my guys, reminding them like, hey, do you remember what it's like to do a 2,500 foot chain link job? Well, you're going to remember tomorrow. They're like, oh, great. So,
it probably
we're just jamming along.
It probably feels good too, kind of getting back into what you used to do for so long, and it just comes natural, huh?
Yeah. I'm happy working my high end residential stuff that I have done and kind of niched out, but it also is satisfying going back and being like, you see a entire warehouse plant, and I do a lot of design build, right? Uh-huh. Like, so because of my background, that's a big part of it that I'm doing out there. And man, like people just eat that up. If you get into the right people, Dan, and you probably know this because as long as you've been in business, but you kind of find you have some strengths and sweet spots with that stuff. And that's what I've noticed. HOAs for me over the years, and then like negotiated commercial where I actually go into a plant and talk to them about, what security hardening measures they need to take into account, access control, like how are we getting the ingress, egress, and all that stuff like that. So that's right in my wheelhouse, doing a full, security threat analysis and explaining to them how I do it, what it is, and then actually presenting them with a plan. And man, it's kind of easy when you do that, but you got to learn it, and it takes a long time to learn. It does take a long time to learn, but once you get it, man, it just, like I said, right now we're in the middle of that. We're doing one. It's a 6-figure contract, and it's led into like 3 or 4 other $50,000 to $80,000 jobs right now. So I'm like, dude, that's unbelievable, man.
Yeah.
For a 14-month-old company, that's really, really good, I think.
Oh, you done? You done talking about yourself?
Yeah.
Beating your chest?
Just trying to encourage people, man.
Just wondering. That's all. No biggie. Yeah, man. We're doing commercial stuff too. So, and we're learning that it's really easy once you get in for things to happen. The next thing you know, it's just so easy for them to pick up the phone, just call you and say, "Hey, I need this." Mm-hmm. And it becomes to where I need it. Shoot me a price. Can you be there Wednesday? And it's like, well, it's Monday. So I got to get this price today to you, just because I don't want to show up and start working. You'd be like, whoa, that's too much, So, yeah, we're digging it, bro. We're digging it. So, man, let me tell you what happened to me this week. This is why I was calling you while you were playing golf and you wouldn't answer the phone. So,
to be fair, I wasn't playing. I was at the Live tournament here in Broken Arrow.
What is Live?
So it's the Antichrist to PGA, essentially. It's the kryptonite to the Superman of PGA. It's another organization. The Saudis own it, and they just dumped hundreds of millions, like billions of dollars into this. So these dudes, hold on, this is funny. If anybody doesn't know Live, it's hilarious. I went last year to the PGA Championship here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So Broken Arrow, where I live, which is a suburb, we get the Live tournament. So we're out there yesterday, or whenever that was, and we're out there and we're looking at it, and we're going through the whole tournament thing, and the golfers are standing next to us. So like at PGA, they're like sectioned off, and the motto of this, Dan, is golf but louder. And I'm like, okay, golf but louder. They got music the whole time across the entire country club, like just jamming. You're like, come on,
like
come on,
in the club in Dubai, huh?
Yeah, and then the golfers are wearing shorts. So in the PGA, they have to wear pants. These mugs are wearing shorts. They have teams and stuff. And I'm sitting here going, this is bananas, but it's awesome.
Is it
but
really?
I'm like, holy crap. It's just funny. It was like a one giant party, and we're like, there's a beer cart girl, and I'm like, this is awesome. I'm like, PGA's like, come buy your beer here. These guys are like, let's go. The music's going. I think Lainey Wilson or whatever, that country lady. Yeah. She used to have a big old dump truck, and now she's lost all her weight. And it's kind of, I mean, that's cool. That's cool. Good for her. Getting healthy. Well done. Kind of her claim to fame, though, is gone. So I don't know what that means. I'm not a country guy, so
I'm going to have to look her up.
It's cool, dude. It's a freaking party, bro. It's a party.
So it's kind of like, I might ruffle some feathers here, but it's kind of like the FWA's fence tech deal that they're going to have, their fence show, compared to the AFA's.
The fence and security show?
Yeah.
Potentially.
Yeah, because Brian's like, well, he's wanting to.
I don't know. Here's what I'll say to that. Even if that was the perception, my buddies Robert and Chance throwing the pre-party, the kickoff party, we should have changed any of that. I mean, we worked I was working with those guys up to we were getting sponsors. Like when I was in Oklahoma City that Monday night, I think I picked up 3 more sponsors for the party.
Yeah. The party was dope.
Dude.
It was dope,
it was cool.
Man.
Super cool.
But it wasn't like a club.
That's true. They had a band though. It was a little more Oklahoma.
Yeah, it was. I love it.
I mean, I wanted to get like I felt like I should have had
glow sticks,
like glow sticks and stuff.
Right? Yeah. Hey, take this pill
right now. I would do it. Yeah, take
Take this pill.
Anyways,
don't mind the knee-high soap suds.
On the golf course.
Yeah, on the golf course. So, anyway, so let me tell you what happened, man. People are going to be like, what the hell am I listening to?
What is this garbage?
We're just having fun, guys. It's actually like Saturday morning, 9:30, and you're drinking Yinglings.
Surprise.
Yeah, he's like, I thought that's what we did on your show. I'm like, not at 9:30 in the morning, bro. So anyway, man, let me tell you what happened. We did a job for this cat. He gets financed, and we use Sunlight Financial. Well, he decided he wanted more fence. So he was a little upset with us because he was like, well, this is what I wanted. So then I had to kind of prove to him. He sent over a picture of his survey, and the fence was coming off the back corners of the house. Well, then he got to looking at the neighbors and realized nobody else did that, so he didn't want to stand out, right? So I was like, okay. So we got a $30-something $100 upcharge to add fencing. So we do the change order, send it over to him. He signs it, sends it back. We go to work. Well, here it's been, probably 3 months. And he's calling Sunlight saying that we never did the change order. Yeah.
Hold on. Did he approve the job and you got paid?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So a couple things, guys, and this is the point of the story. A lot of times we'll do change orders and you just email the change order over and they're like, yeah, I'm fine with it. And I was like, we really need to get these things signed. Well, thank goodness I got it signed because I uploaded it into the Sunlight portal, and being that he signed it, it couldn't be one of those things where, he just added that onto my loan, right?
Yeah.
And then we had pictures of the drawing that he sent us. So I had to send some things to Sunlight, and I probably didn't have to do all that legwork, but I have such a good relationship with them. I didn't want them to think that, hey, maybe Dan's doing something he shouldn't be doing here, right? But yeah, so the guy calls him and doesn't want to pay the change order, and he would have gotten what he wanted if I wouldn't have had him sign it. How about that?
Jeez.
Yeah. So 70,
documentation is everything, right? So how do you do your change orders? Because I notice that's a problem I have, Dan, I use Job Nimbus, and actually you have them just do the e-signature through Job Nimbus, but you can't initial anything. You can't, and once I don't know if you've ever done that in Job Nimbus, but once you put it in and convert it for signature, you can't change it. Like it's done.
You can't even change an internal note. You can't do nothing.
Yeah.
Or you can't do anything. But anyway, I don't use Job Nimbus's signature deal.
Oh, okay.
I use Dropbox Sign, which used to be HelloSign. I've been using it for years. I think I don't know what I pay. I pay a price per year for it, but it's branded. It allows, once they sign, they go directly to my payment portal so they can make a payment. I can have them initial where they want. I can add text where I want, fill in the blanks on a form. It also, Job Nimbus, we need to get this right. It notifies me when it's been signed.
Dude, seriously. Holy frick. Do you know how many agreements and contracts I've had sitting there for 2 weeks? And then they're like, are you ever going to do anything? What are you talking about? And then I go in, I'm like, oh my gosh, they signed off 2.5 weeks ago.
Yeah. You can't.
Brutal, man.
You can't have that, man. So the only time I use Job Nimbus's signature deal, and look, guys, they're getting into the signature signing situation. They're going to make it better. It's technology. Just deal with it. It just so happens that I needed it before they even offered it. Now they offer it, and they're making it better.
Dan, one thing, I use the Job Nimbus payments. I was real excited when that came out because one thing different between you and I is, I want to make everything as easy for me through the process flow, right? Where you're super detailed. You want it your way. I'm like, I don't freaking care what the way is. I just need it to move and move efficiently. And if I can do it in less platforms or whatever, that works for us, right?
Right.
So the Job Nimbus payments come in, and the way that they process like the payments and the fees and they put it in, it's hard. Like there's a learning curve to it. We finally figured it out, got to balance our books, et cetera, et cetera. But like working with Jordan and his team over there at Job Nimbus Payments, I mean, that company is so cutting edge. Like they'll take feedback, man, and they've done it for you for years. Oh, yeah. But even in the past year and a half, I've used them or whatever. They come through and I'll say, this doesn't fly. I think it should be like this. And they said, well, we just got that from 2 other clients. I think, yeah, we're moving towards that. And then they even, like Jordan with Job Nimbus Payments has followed up with me and said, hey, just want to let you know, you and all the other people that mentioned this, I'm emailing you out, letting you know this is going to be a platform change. Like we are making the change and quickly. And I'm talking like within a month. Dude, some of these other companies, like you talk to like a QuickBooks or something and there's a problem, bro, it's going to be like 3 years.
Yeah.
Before they even know where to disseminate the information and start making something happen. So
yeah, that's what I love about those guys. But I don't use their payment system either.
Right.
So
I know.
I just
I was plugging it for him.
Yeah. Plug away, bro. I just use a different one because it just works better for me.
Right. And like I said, that's the difference between you and I. I want to have everything.
Well, you have to go in.
Flowed out, right?
Well, you got to go in, do the invoice, email it to them. I don't have to do any of that.
Right. But I like doing that. Or having someone in my office do it. Really, I'm not really doing it anymore.
I mean, they signed the contract, and it says they've got to pay a 50% retainer fee. And after they sign, boom, they end up on my website at a payment portal, and they pick 1, 2, 3, 4 different ways they want to pay.
Yeah,
pick whatever way they want to pay. They pay. I get up at 4:30 in the morning and open up my emails, and I'm like, oh, Nathan Downs signed. Oh, and he paid. Oh, yeah, it's nice, real nice. So, and I don't have all my eggs in one basket.
Sure.
And I've never had any issues with those guys that I use.
Right.
So, but yeah, man. So, this cat tried to get out of almost a $11,000 deal and turn it into a $70-something deal because he said that we never did the change order. Isn't that great?
Not surprising.
Yeah,
customers are always trying to take advantage of us.
Always, man. Always.
My wife is cracking me up. She's like, okay, I've heard you say this for a million years because I've been talking about this for forever. But she's like, we just had a $2,000 customer. It's just fronts and gates. It's special stuff like trim carpentry type stuff, right? Like real fancy arch gates, special hardware. And they called me the other morning when I was dropping off my nephew at school, and they're like, you guys are the worst company like ever. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I know you've said that in the email a couple times. So he's telling me on the phone now. He's like, I'm just, I've owned several businesses. Of course, yeah. Yes, you're the pro. I understand. I'm just a piece of crap fence guy. I understand. And he's like, I mean, I've owned several businesses and blah, 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 blah. And he's just drilling me down. It's really, I said, it is disappointing. I said, it's disappointing that the guys made a mistake. It's disappointing that you guys, have taken everything the wrong way. And then Donnie's been out there a couple times reworking some of the stuff, fixing it and making it right. But it's like, they were pissed off this past week because I said that we're going to try to get there Monday. So, of course, I say we're going to try to get there Monday. You know what they heard. They'll be here Monday at 8 a.m.
Right.
Yeah, that is not what I said. So Monday comes and goes, email that night. Then Tuesday morning, email. Then Wednesday, we finally talk on the phone. Donnie's already on his way out there. And that's when, you're literally the worst company ever. So I've got a $25,000 Ameristar and Chainlink job over in West Tulsa. And this lady's calling me, you guys are the greatest company of all time. And I'm like, so the expensive customer that spent more money thinks we're great.
Right.
The person that spent as little as they want, and granted, Dan, when they originally said they wanted to move forward with us, they told me they chose another contractor.
I had that happen to me too.
I'm like, hold the hell on. Why didn't you stay with the other contractor? I'm like, damn, that would have been better for me. So at first I was kind of excited because I marked it up. I was like, oh, this is expensive, but I really don't want to do it. I mean, we're super busy, right?
Right.
And then they're like, well, we're coming back to you. We want you to do it. I was like, why? Okay. So I didn't think anything about it. Now later I'm sitting here thinking, oh, they got me good. But Blanc, you know what I'm saying? All this time, all this effort and communication and stuff over the $2,000 job and the $25,000 job. She's just happy as a lark, already giving us Google reviews. Oh my gosh, greatest team ever. I'm like, it's funny because the person with the 2 gates says we're literally the worst company of all time. So.
Yeah, so it's funny, man, how business is. We have a pretty extensive contract, agreement, whatever you want to call it. And I tell people, hey, this is to protect me and to protect you. And this is 23 years of me learning what is best for both parties, Well, we had a job. It was a little over 10 grand. It was almost 11 grand. Older couple. And she was intimidated. We had to drop the contract off to her. AOL email address. You've heard me talk about this before. Dropped it off. Dylan went over there. And he's like, hey, I'm here to go over the contract with you. Oh, just leave it here. We'll go over it tonight while we're watching Dallas.
Dallas,
or whatever.
Golden Girls. We're
Yeah.
watching Golden Girls.
Who's that lawyer? The old school guy lawyer?
Oh, yeah. Matlock?
Matlock,
no.
yeah. We'll look this over while we're watching Matlock. So, so next thing you know, man, Dylan comes back. He's like, yeah, no, we're not getting that job. Well, 2 days later, we get a phone call because my offices are upstairs. Hey, we're out in the parking lot and we can't climb the stairs. Can you come get this contract? So I'm like, Dylan, go get that contract. So I'm thinking, damn, they signed it. All right, let's go. He comes back up because the lady dropped off the contract because she wanted us to have it back. And they're not going to go with us because there's stuff in there that has extras. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to let them simmer down. This was like 10 o'clock in the morning. So I call like 3:30 in the afternoon. Hey, Miss Millie, yada, yada. Look, I understand. Sometimes we get some of our customers, and usually it's, customers that are older and grew up in a different time and a different generation, and they're not real big on these contracts. And the reason why we have to have them is because in today's world, everybody's trying to get over on you and not pay and sue. And so how about we just do this? Why don't we just toss that out the way, and you sign the estimate, we'll go to work. Well, I'm not doing anything without a contract. What? I'm like, well, what's wrong with the contract? Well, there's a lot of stuff that's extra in there. I'm like what? And I hope Mark Olson is listening to this because he's always giving me hell about my dog shit clause. She goes, well, it says if we don't pick up the dog mess, there's going to be a charge. I said, well, Miss Miller, you don't have a dog. Well, I know. I just don't like how I could get a charge. What if another dog came in my yard?
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. Hey, Miss Millie, let me go ahead and give you the name of a company that you can call to come do your fence. And, of course, I give it to, one of my competitors I don't like. I'm like, you deal with this lady. But anyway, man, it's people are crazy. But I'll send the same agreement to someone who's an attorney who you're thinking to yourself, all right, they're not going to sign this. Oh, they sign it, they pay. I love your contract. I think more contractors should have an agreement like that.
That's awesome.
And this lady, I've had 2 attorneys tell me that, like in the past year. And then I got this old lady not signing it because she's afraid that somebody else's dog might crap in her backyard, and we charge her to pick it up after.
Yeah. There's one piece of poop.
Yeah, yeah. Let's just throw the contract out the window and let's just get this thing done. Oh, no, I need to have a contract. Wait, I'm lost. So
what else is going on?
Nothing, man. We're have you ever used those Z&D panels for temporary fence?
Mm-hmm.
You like them?
Yeah, they're great.
You own some?
I do. I had to buy them, of course, to use them on a job site. But
how many?
Yeah, we've got a Lake Regional Electric Co-op project that we're doing a big cantilever gate and a bunch of chain link work for and stuff. And I think I've got 900 feet out there.
Oh, really?
So it's a decent little amount. Yeah.
Yeah. So did you buy them direct from Z&D or did you go through like Halco or something?
Master Halco.
You went through Halco?
Yeah. I wanted to buy them direct. So here's the thing. I wanted to buy them direct from Z&D because I found out you could put the freaking plates on there, with the, and I was like, dude, that's awesome. And I called them and they're like truckload. And I said, dude, I don't have room to put my wood and iron in here, let alone a truckload of temp fence. So I was like, I don't think we're the company for you guys. I'll go to Master Halco.
You can save some cash though.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah, it was legit. And I liked the idea of the nameplate thing. I thought that was so super cool.
Yeah, man. You could save a third? No, not a third. Not quite. You could save a good bit, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh. So now I'm over here doing the math. So Ron, the consultant, was in here. He finally popped in, and I said, Ron, you want to loan me 150 G's?
Yeah, exactly.
You want to go into the temp fence business? But
that's awesome.
And I tell you what, that was a great conversation with him. He's got his spa company, and they're already down $1 million this past month. First month that they have not exceeded the prior year's sales.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was. Really
we had talked about that another time, but I'm very interested to find out where the market actually is, because I still do not like, as bad as my January and February were, we're literally on fire. Like, I'm running all over town every day. So's Donnie. I mean, we're just on fire, which is great. But I'm like, where's the slowdown? Where's the turn? Why are people not holding back, maybe like they were a little bit last year or at the beginning of the year? It's just interesting. I don't understand where the market's at.
I have seen we're doing great, but I've seen my average job cost drop. So we do pretty extensive data tracking, and my average job has dropped some. So, I'm seeing a lot of little jobs, man. We had a job.
Compared to where, though? Like, compared to what time frame? Like, are you saying like over the last couple of years?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, the last couple of years are all bull crap anyways. Because,
it is,
but COVID, right? Like,
when I compare it to 2019, which is what I really need to compare it to, I'm up. But, I get that. But I still got to look at what my overhead is today, because my overhead then in 2019 isn't what it is today. So, we're doing better than 2019, but we also have more overhead.
Yeah.
So you got to take all that into consideration. So our spreadsheets are working really, really well for us. I had a meeting with my guy this morning to iron all that out. And I think he's going to go in and boom, knock everything. We like I use the sheet. I'm like, hey, do this, add this, change this. And I think we're past all that. So after about a month of doing that, I think we're going to be good to go, man. And the numbers, as he's doing it, and the numbers are coming in, and we're looking, and like, okay, this is awesome. It's more detailed than we've ever been. So hire somebody to build you some spreadsheets.
Absolutely. I'm in about an hour. Hopefully, I have my new office lady coming in. So
so you're looking to diversify and go into something new and different.
Yeah. So that was one thing I wanted to talk to you about, because I haven't even talked about this on my podcast yet. When you're looking to diversify, go ahead.
I was going to say nobody listens anyway. So
my Libsyn and YouTube say different. But thank you all for all the love and continue watching it, even though Dan doesn't watch it or know anything that I talk about on my podcast when I listen to his all the time.
I do know what's going on your podcast.
So check this out. So I was going to ask you this, Dan.
Okay.
Like, when you're looking to diversify, I would contest, like right now, I had one of my buddies come up to me a couple months ago, and he works for an outdoor living company, right? They're doing decks, like Trex decks. They're doing concrete work. They're doing pergolas. They're doing all the, okay, well, dude, I've done a lot of that, but we don't do it on a day-to-day basis because I don't have the team to do it. But he wants to get out and do his own thing, but he's 29. You know, there's some concern there, right? A little bit of fear, the security. His wife is pregnant and all this stuff like that. So we're like, okay, there's a lot of stuff going on in this guy's court. Well, I told him straight up, I was like, bro, I would love to get into outdoor living stuff, like everything that he can do with his guys. So very similar to what happened with me at my previous employer. Hey, come on, let's diversify. Let's open up a new platform. We'll pay the bills, and then we'll team up with you and work on everything. So I'm the check writer, right? And then everything else, he works for the company, gets all the benefits, everything. But then we're building up his portfolio, and then I can start giving him equity back into that guy and stuff. And that's kind of what my plan is with him, but we're still working out some of the details. But I was thinking about this. So my question to you is, when you're looking to diversify, what are the key factors that play into your decision? And let me finish my thought, because I would like to leave the nugget. I'd contest with everyone that I think finding the people first might be the most important thing, because by myself, I don't have the bandwidth to diversify anymore. Like, I can't take on more stuff, right? But like, knowing someone that I know and trust has this other thing that we could use as a diversification, I'm a lot more apt right now to go into the outdoor living space. You see what I'm saying? Because of someone I know. So how do you do it?
What's this cat's name?
I can't say that right now, just in case someone sees this.
We're just calling Bob, right?
Yeah, Bob.
So Bob, he's got a crew, and they do concrete work, and they do pergolas, and they do all this stuff. They're a jack of all trades, master of none. Well,
there's a bunch of He's got multiple contractors. They each do their own thing. Okay. Right? So, like me, like I've got gate guys, I've got gate operator guys, access control.
So he's a guy who has connection. He is a guy who does do some of the work.
Yes, correct.
But then if something else comes along, he knows the guy to call.
That's right. So he has a team of guys that he can make it happen with.
So,
great content here.
Yeah. So, guys, right now, if you could see me, my face, I got a lot of things running through my head. Number one, if this guy can do all this, why isn't he doing it himself?
Capital.
Okay.
Capital and risk.
Okay. All right. So, being that you have the capital and you're taking a risk, is he going to be willing to make less money than he's used to making because you're taking all the risk and putting out all the capital?
Yes.
He is.
Yeah, that's the conversation we've been having.
Okay. And then my next question is, how long do you think he's going to be willing to do that before he has his own capital and realizes the risk isn't really the risk that he thought it was? And now you've got all this SEO, advertising, website stuff done, right?
Sounds like someone's story in Fence.
and this guy goes off, right? And this guy goes off and says, "Hey, Nathan, it was great, but I really don't need you anymore."
Yep. So this is what my thought is, and this is kind of a Matt Warner thing I've learned. I would be more inclined from the beginning to accept the risk, make sure that it's working, and start to give him equity back in that. So then there's a partnership aspect to it. But we're trying to figure out in the long term, like, we're not doing like a 50, like I don't do partners, right? Like there's no 50-50. Like someone has to be in charge. Right?
I can't stand partners. You know why?
So why is that?
I say partners don't work. You want to know why? Because
I have a million reasons I agree with that.
There's a pretty simple one. Because one of the partners doesn't work.
Yes, absolutely. Every time. Well, and so that's my point with this. Okay, if I'm not working that end of the business with him, I need to start giving him equity once we know it's profitable and we're making money. I can give him some back. So he's got that skin in the game now, right? Like he's got that bit of ownership. So working into that. But I think what we're trying to figure out, and this is hard, I don't know, there's not really an answer, but we're trying to figure out, do we want a long-term solution where we're always married at the hip for this because we will have built up something large enough and competitive enough in our marketplace where, like, I think we could really do something for, decades of time.
Why don't you talk to Robert Whitaker about this? Because that's what Robert Whitaker did. He was working with his brother. He had B lawn, whatever, I don't know, something like that.
Yep.
They started doing pergolas and started doing all this stuff. And they felt like they needed the word fence in the company, so they opened Magnolia Fence and Patio. His brother, he owned half of the lawn care, lawn service thing with his brother. His brother owned half of Magnolia. Okay? Mm-hmm. So when shit went south, they had to dissolve it, and he had to be bought out. So maybe you need to start a whole nother company or division, whole nother LLC.
Yes. So
and
that's
you come,
what we're doing.
Okay, and then you come in and say, hey, I'm going to bring this capital in. I'm going to float this. I'm going to float that. You have to support yourself. And if this guy decides to tuck tails and run, well, he's got an obligation to either buy you out or you have to buy him out. Mm-hmm. Or whatever the situation is. That's how I would do it to protect myself, because I had the same thing happen to me. I had a guy working for me. This was back in the early times when he did all my fencing because I had a regular job. Right? I didn't even realize I had a sub. I just thought he worked for me, but really he was kind of like a sub. But he was using all my tools and everything. And then I started noticing, he bought a pickup truck. Okay. And then we had a parade coming through town, and I'm riding through, and I ride by, and I see he's got a brand new trailer hooked up to his pickup truck on the side of the road with all his friends. And I'm like, all right, this is going south quick, And then next thing you know, he's like, hey man, look, I'm opening my own fence company, but look, I will do your stuff, and we can work it, work my schedule around your schedule. And I was like, yeah, we can do that. I never called him again, because you know what? You're gonna fucking sink. Or you're going to swim on your own. You're not going to use me to finance and pay your bills while you're building your company, because guess what? That's how I got into business. And some fucking idiot let me do it. So I'm not going to be that guy. Now, he's got a thriving business today, but I didn't make it easy on him. And we're friends. I talked to him a couple weeks ago.
Nice.
But so that's what I would do, man. I would definitely have some type of deal, like that.
That's what we were thinking too. We want it to be an independent operation, but we're going to use the branding and stuff and everything right now, because I think I bought like 19 websites. Benji was like, what the hell? What are you doing? I'm like, I don't know what I want to call it, so I'll call it everything. And I just started buying all these URLs. I was like, I'll take that domain, all the way down.
How many domains you own now?
How many do I own?
Yeah. Dude, it's insane. I got a bill yesterday for like $212. And it was just...
I own too many, bro. Yeah. I think I own about 37.
Oh, I own more than that.
But you got to remember, some of mine are like... What was that one that I pay like... It's like $100 a year for, or more, just for one. It was like your perimeter.solutions or security.solutions, something bad. Like, I'm like, I don't know how I would ever use it, but when I saw it was available, I'm like, that's cool. Could you imagine like security.solutions? And then I'm like, what does that even mean?
So you know what I do? And some people might think this is pretty shitty, but you know what? It's business.
I already know.
As soon as, if Nathan came in and he had radiusfence.com, I go in and buy every radius fence that he doesn't own.
Right.
Yeah. Radiusfence.net, radiusfence.co, whatever. Radius Fence Company, Radius Fence. Yeah. I buy them all. So I have a spreadsheet with them all. And then on that spreadsheet, we know when they expire. So then we get an alert when they expire. and I'm not talking about the ones I own because I don't need to know when they expire because they're on auto pay.
Right.
But all the other ones, we have a thing when it expires, the ones that I don't own, and then we get a reminder, hey, this is expired. We go check it, and if they haven't paid it, we buy it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so some people probably think that's shitty, and you know what? It is kind of shitty, but it's business.
I was going to say it is.
But it's business, so I can go to some people's Facebook pages and click on their website, and it goes to my my funnel page for that city. Yep. So, like say I had a Broken Arrow city page, right?
Mm-hmm.
And somehow I ended up getting radiusfence.com, and you got it on your Facebook page, and you don't even realize that you lost it. Your customers are going to your Facebook page, clicking your website, going to my city page that just looks like
Broken Arrow or whatever. Yeah.
Broken Arrow's #1 fencer, right? And anything they click on there brings them to Fence King.
Right.
Yeah. So, but hey, it's the game we play, brother.
That is one thing we all have to do as business leaders and business owners is understand that stuff is out there. So we don't get caught on the losing side of that battle, right?
Yeah. Make sure you keep your credit cards up to date. And I have a spreadsheet of all of them, man. And so I got a bill the other day for a fence company that started up and was I bought like 6 or 7 domains all around their name, and then sometimes you buy a little variations, a little misspelling of it, a common misspelling of a name.
Yep. That's why I'm thinking about rebranding my company as Next Level Fencing because Devin didn't get a lot of them and I own all the rest of them. So. Sorry about it. Sorry. I think.
So no, but that's good information to have, man. You need to keep on top of that, and it doesn't hurt to buy all those websites. I mean, I own virtualfencedesigner.com, FenceKingVirtualFenceDesigner.com because I coined that virtual fence designer deal.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff, man. You'd be amazed at some of the websites we have. We bought StainSealClean.com.
I know. Did you
Seal?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Don't you have Stain King too or something? Or?
No, we don't have that. It's already taken. But
it was taken.
Every variation that you can think of, Stain Steel, Clean Stain Steel.
King of Stain.
Yeah. So we bought all those, and I couldn't believe it wasn't taken. But what I'm finding in the stain world, people don't focus on the clean part. They focus on the stain and seal.
Sure.
Well, it needs to be clean too.
That's true.
Right? So we're utilizing that. Anyway, talking about stain, expert stain and seal. You're a stain guy. I see your hat. Wood defender. Pick your poison.
Pick your poison, boys.
Yeah.
Girls.
I like my stuff better than yours, though.
I know. And I like my stain track better than yours. So.
I have one. I have one of those new machines sitting in my showroom, bro.
Do you really?
Yeah, waiting on another one to come in.
Have you used it yet?
No, I have not used it. I am not going to use it till I get my second one in.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to have one on the showroom to sell. The other one I'm going to use to pre-stain, but I'm going to rent it out.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah. So I'm going to buy a bunch of rollers and stuff for it.
Yeah.
So put all that into the rental cost. And if Bob wants to come over and pre-stain a fence, but he doesn't want to buy the machine for $3,800, then hey, man, $350. You can rent this baby for a day. And and when he's clean it, we'll have a rental contract. Yeah, I think it'll be dope.
From there. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Cool idea. Diversification right there.
Right. So that's another way to diversify, like you're doing with the. Now, I used to do that outdoor stuff. I did pergolas, patio covers, concrete work, decks, all that. And my problem was I was subbing it all out.
Right.
And I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off, and I was, not making hardly any money.
But right. And I've listened to Sean King say the same thing, right? Like I've always taken that into account. Where years ago, I remember Sean talking about they started looking at the margins on things and they were doing decks or something. But because of the competitive nature and because of the time and money it took for them to do it, he was like, dude, we're not making any money on this. But with this scenario, it's a little bit different. And that's why I said at the beginning of that thought process about diversification, I wonder if it's better to find a guy or a gal, right, that it's their shtick in your organization, whatever it ends up looking like. But, like in this scenario, I've got a guy that's going to manage it and do everything. And he's already someone I have a relationship with. I know he's a hustler. I know he wants it and the desire of it. So just monitoring it and then teaching him along the way, but knowing that it's a partnership from a mentorship standpoint. And then I'm bringing the checkbook. But like I said, we've got to have the end in mind, like begin with the end in mind.
Yeah.
Right. We have to know where we're going with it. But I think it's something that, we've continued to talk about where he just wants to feel valued. And I'm like, he doesn't need to be the man, at least not today, right? But that's something to be said about that, because if you can cultivate that relationship there and grow into that, I think it's something that could work for both of us. And then we have another opportunity, a whole nother company doing their own thing, hopefully another place or whatever, there's so many options, so much potential.
Yeah.
But he's the right person. So it makes me think that this is the right time, because we're already looking at how can we continue to grow, continue to change what we're doing around town. I mean, that's an easy thing when I have someone like that. When I have someone as good as he is, that makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense. So what else were we going to talk about? Oh, I know what we're going to talk about. We're
almost at an hour.
Yeah, we're going to talk about suppliers.
Oh, yeah. Let's run through that real quick.
Yeah, we got like 7 minutes or so before we hit an hour.
So
let me tell you my supplier story. I'm not going to mention.
And then I've got one for you.
I'm not going to mention their name.
I won't mention their name.
So the manager, the branch manager, general manager, I don't know, whatever his title is, the guy who runs everything at this supplier is right here in the town next to me, like literally 20, maybe 30 minutes ride. Well, he lives right here in Mandeville. Rides around, sees my signs on all the fences, sees my trucks all over, right? He's been the manager there for a couple of years, and do you know he has never came to see why I don't do business with him? Really? So, him and I are talking, and I was kind of being a smart ass. Let's call him Bob, because, we just always use the word Bob, right? So I'm like, Bob, this kind of concerns me that you live in Mandeville, you see my fence signs and my trucks, but you never came to be like, hey, I'm Bob with ABC Fence Supply. Never. Well, I never really thought about that. All right, I know what road we're heading down now, right?
Right.
Because it kind of rubbed me wrong. We were short some barbed wire on a job, so we ran to them, and they charged me like $150 for a roll of barbed wire that I could have got for $50 at Tractor Supply. So when I called this guy, check this out. I called him and I'm like, hey, I want to talk to the manager, whatever. Get him on the phone. Tell him who I am. Have you ever heard of me? No. I'm thinking, okay, all right. That's kind of weird. You're right here in Slidell. How do you not know who I am? I'm in your sales region. But anyway, he was like, well, how are you doing this morning? I said, well, I'm not doing too good. He said, really? I said, yeah, I'm actually on my way to the emergency room. He's like, oh, really? I was like, yeah, but I had to give you a call. He's like, well, what's wrong? I said, well, I can't fucking walk from that fucking you just gave me on that roll of barbed wire. And it was like complete silence. And he's like, what? I was like, yeah, I just paid $148 for a roll of barbed wire that I could have went to Tractor Supply that was 20 minutes closer and bought for $50, or got Master Halco to bring tomorrow for, $50 or whatever it is. I said, so I'm just trying to figure out what's going on, man. And if you want to know why I don't do business with you, this is why. So he went into this whole spiel. We got our 80-20 customers, and I understand that you may be an 80, but we could get you to be a 20 one day. And I was like, okay. He's like, we're not against opening up accounts for companies and helping them grow. And I was like, hey, Bob, I think you need me. I don't need you, Bob. And he was like, what? I was like, I think you got this backwards. I got accounts with Halco. I got accounts with Stevens Pipe. I've got lines of credit with these guys. I'm buying from them. I'm just trying to kind of spread the love because I don't want to get hung up in a COVID deal where, you can't get an account with me because you've never done business with me. And I don't like having all my eggs in one basket. And, we're going to buy some shorts from you. So I understand I might pay $70 for that roll of barbed wire instead of $50, but not $148. So I think you got this backwards. I don't need you to grow. The way I look at it is you need me to help you grow because I'm already established.
What'd he say?
We can send over a
credit app.
Yeah, credit app. And they still have not come to see me. So I threw some numbers at him, what I was spending at Halco, what I was spending at Stevens Pipe, all that good stuff. And, I was like, I don't need you to grow. I haven't done business with you in 15 years.
One of the biggest losses to the industry over the last couple of years is the fact that everyone has been on fire. So there's no hunger out there anymore.
Well, that's all changing. And that's why I wanted to bring it up.
Exactly.
Because guess what? Here I am. I'm sitting in my office. My secretary goes, hey, some guy, Mike from Master Halco, wants to stop by. And I'm like, I don't know, Mike. Yeah, Mike. There's no Mike at Halco, He comes in. Sure enough, it's Michael with Master Halco. And I'm like, okay, how's Harold doing? I guess he's doing fine. I really don't talk to him that much. And I was like, okay. Well, come to find out, this cat came all the way from Pearl, Mississippi, because they used to be a Jameson. So they're now Master Halco, and their territory overlaps the Mobile branch, and he's out around shaking the trees, trying to get business. So now we're starting to see, I'd say since maybe December, I'm starting to get salespeople in my office now. Hey, let me tell you about who we are, what we got. Zach Payton and I had a conversation about this. He goes, and it used to be, hey, I need to place an order. I need to buy some. No, we're not taking any new customers. Now they're calling you up. Hey, you got something we can quote?
Yeah.
So the tables are turning on these vendors.
I agree. Yes, I agree. I think Pearl, you just said Pearl, Mississippi, isn't?
Yeah.
Isn't someone famous in fence from Pearl, Mississippi? I think that's where.
I think that's
old T-Dog.
Yeah.
I think Mr. Thornton's from
the Tony Thornton.
Pearl, Mississippi.
Pearl, Mississippi.
Hey, we need to go to Pearl. Hold on. I will do this. I will drive and meet you at Pearl, Mississippi, and let's make a sign. We'll have a sign made up, and it'll say Pearl, Mississippi, hometown of Tony Thornton. We can put it on the highway on the outside of town.
Yeah.
Or like the street going into town or something. I would totally do that.
We need to do that.
And then take pictures and just to clown them. The city's like, what in the hell? We're out there pounding the post. Hey, what's up? Pound them in, hang the sign, take pictures, and then just
that would be great. Because it's funny that you said that. It's funny how you said Pearl, Mississippi, because whenever I mention Nathan Downs to Tony, he says Bixby.
Bixby. Yeah, he does. That's funny. But I always know his Pearl, Mississippi.
Yeah. So, man. So the tables are definitely turning with the vendors. I see.
Agree. We had one yesterday. I had to go in there and just give it to him because ordered a bundle too of SS40 pipe and 2-inch cut to a certain size. And these mugs had 1 7/8 and 1 5/8 mixed together.
Really?
And they didn't know there was a difference.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Hey, I got a question for you. Do you have some vendors that do 2 3/8 and 2 7/8 when you order, and then some vendors say 2 1/2 and some say 3?
Yes.
Don't you hate that?
Yeah. I don't. I'm interchangeable with them now.
No, I'm interchangeable with them, but my poor guy Zach, who's trying to get prices, he's like, I don't know who to send what.
Yeah, I just started doing it my own way, and then they have to figure it out. Or what I did do one time was I made a spreadsheet that I had all the part numbers cross-referenced in there.
Uh-huh.
And then when you'd put in your chain link worksheet, you put it in, it would make sheets for every vendor with their part numbers, which I was like even more like, I want to make it as easy as possible on my distributors because I get tired of like, here's my thing. And this is for all the guys and gals out there. All right. If you can't do your own takeoff, stop wasting the wholesalers' time asking them to do takeoffs because it slows my bids down and it really kind of pisses me off. Like, I do my own takeoff so that way I expect it to be back. And I have called multiple companies before and they're like, oh yeah, ABC Fence down the road has this 1,000-foot chain link job, but they send in a drawing. Yeah, that ain't my problem. Push that crap to the back and do my 400-foot job because I gave you the parts.
Right.
So like, again, like we're talking about during COVID, during all these things, now they're coming back around. Oh yeah, Nathan. Oh yeah, you're actually buying stuff, so we should probably do yours first. No. You should have probably been doing mine first the whole time because I was giving you the freaking part numbers.
Yeah.
Or I was breaking it down to make it, and that was one thing I've talked about on my podcast about my time at Ameristar. If I had guys sending in part numbers with quantities, I would see it hit my email and I would literally go shelving what I'm doing, typing it up real quick, and 2 minutes later it's out the door. Because there's value in that, right? Like to the contractor. Because I know there's value to you, dude. I know there's value to me. I'm like, damn.
Well,
if I took the time to give it to you, you better freaking send it back as fast as you can.
When it comes to chain link, Stevens Pipe has that calculator.
Yep.
Which is really, really nice.
Is awesome. Yeah.
You go into the portal, click, 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 click. And if you're not too good at it, you just send in a diagram and they'll boom, 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 plug it in for you.
So a lot of people don't know, if you have the ability to get a Merchants Metals account and you're a company that's younger and growing, but Merchants Metals actually has the fence estimator on their website.
Oh, really?
And what it is, people don't know this. It's CFS on their website, like mobile.
Really?
And you can, I've used it for years. And you can choose quick draw, quick price, quick whatever. And it's literally the CFS platform. Now, what it'll do is it asks you the questions and you go through it, but you do quick draw. And I say 200 feet, 300 feet, 100 feet, 20-foot cantilever gate, 50 feet, a 4-foot gate. And you know what I'm saying? You draw it. You just draw it with your dimensions and then go to specs and you choose every specification all the way down, and it produces a quote.
Really?
Yep. So and that's what CFS does, man.
So
like
maybe
when you draw it and choose your specs.
Maybe I should fill out that credit app.
Oh, burn. Oh, you know why? Well, there's some companies that have key accounts. They only want to have key accounts, so that's probably why. Yeah. Their philosophy is more, we're looking at it. But you know, one thing, even if, this is for merchants, because I have a lot of friends at merchants at FSG. If that's your business model, why would you still not be trying to attempt to talk to every fence company? Because we all move, right, Dan? Like, don't we move in the market? Like, what if there was one guy, like, they didn't even know I was gone from my previous employer. And I'm like, yeah, you didn't notice they stopped buying? Well, I did. And then once I figured it out, it's 4 months later. I'm like, all I could think in my head was, you're a terrible salesperson. Like,
dude, between
like,
me,
who does that?
There's
like,
me and another fence company on the North Shore of Louisiana, on the North Shore of Lake Pontchartrain. I'm sorry. in Louisiana. We are the biggest players in fence in this area. And you're not calling on me or sending a cell guy. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like we're not a nobody. We got a company that's I've been in business 23 years. He's probably knocking on 35-ish.
Yeah.
And we're the two big boys in town. Look, when Master Halco comes here in the mornings, on Wednesday and Friday mornings, it's funny. The truck is, I'm like, where are you going when you leave here? Oh, we're going to such and such. Okay, you got anybody after that? I got that one pallet. We take up the whole freaking truck.
Right.
You know? It's crazy. You know?
Yeah. Anybody that works for a wholesaler or distributor out there listening to this, just use your head and don't be hungry. Don't act hungry until you are hungry and starving. It should be a common practice for all these companies, man, to always be reaching out and connecting with everyone in the market and know your players. And if you're a new company, and you are growing and doing something, go out there, take your numbers with you.
Yeah.
That's what I was yelling at these guys about the other day. I said, you think I have friends here. I would like to buy more material from you. I have spent over $300,000 at your competitor since the beginning of the year that would have gone here. And they're all staring at me like a bunch of freaking ooh. And I'm and I know that hurts your feelings because some of these guys are my friends, but I'm telling you this because that company and every company out there that's a distributor needs to do better. We can't you can't be like a fence company. And if you have a fence company, don't freaking wait until you don't have any work and you're going, what the hell? What am I going to do today, Dan? I don't even know.
I'm going to make a Facebook post and boost it.
Yeah. Bro, you already missed the train.
Yeah.
You're already behind. If you feel that way, it's like if your body's dehydrated. If you're oh my gosh, I can't. Bro, you missed the boat yesterday.
Yeah.
You should have been drinking water. Mm-hmm. But now you're dehydrated. Well, all these things led up to that. You just don't suddenly become dehydrated. It's the same with our business. And that just pisses me off when people are I'm just getting my teeth kicked in. And I'm like, what happened? Oh, you had 5 jobs and then 3 of them backed out or something. And then you had no safety net. Well, dadgum, think about that. Don't, like you said, don't have all your eggs in one basket.
Well, not only
we got to do.
You got to keep that pipeline packed.
Absolutely.
I mean, you talk about dehydrated. You knew you would get dehydrated when you went and took a leak and realized, wait a second, my urine sure is bright yellow.
Is bright.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I'm just using that as a sign.
That's a great example, Dan. That is an awesome example.
I am pretty amazing. Benji tells me all the time.
But think about this. Look at the signs around you. And if you don't have those things, that's why this kind of stuff we're talking about is important, because there's someone out there that's listening that doesn't even know that's a thing, that didn't even know Merchants Metals has key accounts, which is why I can't buy or they won't sell to them. Right. Okay. So now you know that, guys out there. So have a conversation. Well, how do I become a key account, Dan?
Well, you know what you tell them? You tell them you're on the way to the emergency room because you just got fucked and you can't walk. The dude was just like,
oh my gosh. I bet he was.
Oh yeah, he should have heard that conversation.
He said, over here at Fencing Supply Group, we don't talk that way. This ain't Steven's pipe. No, I'm just kidding.
My secretary,
Mr. Terry, that guy's a freaking stud. You ever talk to Terry Stevens?
No.
Oh my God, you've missed out in life, bro.
My secretary walked in my office and she stood at the door and she was just like, "What are you?" And I was just talking to this guy like I was talking to one of my kids. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just giving it to him. And I'm like, this makes 0 sense.
Yeah.
What are you thinking? You know? Well, look, man, it's been great talking to you, bro.
Yeah, man, you too.
Yeah. You know what?
I hope we had some value brought out there.
I sure hope so too, man. And look, I got a few people that I got to mention that I don't want to forget, and I'm sure you do too, because you're going to play this on your YouTube channel also.
Yep.
And I hope this gets more views than any other YouTube video you have.
We'll see.
Anyway, guys, I can't forget to mention SWI Fence and Supply, SWIFence.com for all your no dig stuff. And we don't want to forget the Expert Stain and Seal and D&D Technologies, Badass Hinges, Fence Track. Guys, I don't even know where my Fence Track sign is. It should be right here. Gosh darn it. My secretary cleaned my office the other day, and I'm still missing things, so I have to find it. And My Salesman, Know Before You Go. I was on that webinar yesterday. Pretty dope. Your name came up, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah. And BizRaider.com. Take control of your reviews. And Clever Fox. Who you got? You got some sponsors too, huh, man?
Clever Fox, Biz Raider. I'm going to work my way backwards off yours. My Salesman, of course. You got Fence Track. We got LuxCore over here. You know, the fancy composite aluminum infill that they're putting into Fence Track now. And then, of course, Wood Defender and Standard Paints. We've got them teamed up with Stain Track, the stain system, the motorized stain system. I guess that'd be the best way to explain the differences between some of these. And then, of course, Joe Everest over at OZ Wireworks. He's got all his pricing on his website. Always check that out if you're interested in getting some chain link from that cat. It is legit, Dan. It is all freaking awesome. I love that Joe actually brings it to us himself. We're close enough, so that's kind of fun.
Oh, really? And then, he delivers it?
Oh, yeah. We had it loaded down on his truck and trailer and everything. It was awesome. Yeah, it was pretty cool, man. I think I put it on Instagram or something like that. Anyways. But and then of course Southwest Automated Security. Those guys are the leader of, taking contractors to the next level, getting all your gate operators, access control, cameras, everything over there. Those guys are awesome. Shipping all over the country every time. And one of your BFFs, Miss Susan Worley, is out there pushing the company as always. So but I know both of us appreciate all our partners out there.
And look, guys, if you go to OZ Fence, what is it? OZFence.com? Yeah,
OzarkWireworks.com.
Yeah.
You can actually see the
MFL 15.
Oh, that
15% off.
Oh, I don't know if that'll work at the Wireworks store. It will work at OZFence.store. Yes. So that's his hardware division?
Yes.
Right? OZFence.store.
OZFence.store. I just clicked the link.
Yeah, you got it.
So you don't have your own promo code for the Wireworks?
I actually do. Oh, for the Wireworks? No. I actually have one for the store, but I can't give mine out because it's better than yours and Dan Wheeler's. So.
Oh, is it really? No, that's awesome. Give it out, man.
It's a special. No. Joe will be like, "Why did you put that out there?" It's like everyone's using your code, and I was like, I'm like, "Oh, sorry, bro." Yeah. Well, it's from a business perspective, you can imagine being so close to him. Our UPS ground back and forth is dirt freaking cheap because they're coming to Springfield to Tulsa every day and stuff like that. So, my shipping costs for him are nothing. So. I actually negotiated that with. I was like, "Hey, bro, can we do?" Yeah, he's like, "I got you, dude." So,
he also has a new website that Clever Fox just put out for his Gateworks or whatever it's called.
Really?
Yeah. What is it?
What is it? Are you talking about
for the wire?
OzarkWireworks.com?
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
You can pull it up, bro.
This is great content. Hey, listen to me pull up the website on my phone.
Yeah, it's OZ Wireworks. Is that it? .com?
It's Ozark Wire. What? OzarkWireworks.com. What the freak? Bro, this is Benji. This is so much better. Oh my gosh. This is freaking sweet.
Dude, look at the video and the hero at the top.
Dude,
and how do you like the photo?
So much better than that garbage.
How do you like the photo? The photo of the chain link with the orange tags on it. You see that?
Yeah, that's cool, dude.
That's nice.
That's sweet.
And then,
that's sweet. Well
got
done.
questions. Well done. He's got everything.
Hold on, we got to give it. I hear the audience out there. Good.
Look, man, it was great hanging out with you.
Always.
And we're going to drop this video on YouTube Wednesday night. We're not going live this Wednesday. I'm going to go have a margarita with old pepperoni, old Miss Pepper.
Some tacos.
Some margaritas, chips and salsa.
I did hear, so Dan Wheeler, outside of his crayon competitions that he's participating in, Thursday nights he's doing an Instagram live at like 7 Central. And he had George from Sparta Fence on there.
Uh-huh. How was it?
It was good. George is such a cool kid.
I like him.
And it was so funny. At the end of the show, I was like, my phone was screwing up, so it looks like I'm like spamming the show at the end of their talk because my phone was like wet or I don't know what's going on, but it just kept sending like random words. And Dan Wheeler's like, guys, I'm not, it looks like Nathan Downs is here. Not really sure what's happening. And this is words coming across. And then I finally got out what I was trying to say was I said, how can I look like George? And they both of them go, eat more tacos. And I'm like, well, much to my wife's chagrin, that would make my heart happy. So, Dan, eat more tacos. You may end up looking like George from Sparta Fence.
Yeah, I will do that. Well, hey, guys, it was great having you here. Y'all keep on fencing.
See ya.
You've been listening to My Fence Life. Yes, we like to have fun. Beer, bourbon, and business. And although we have fun, we take our business very seriously. Dan Blanc is known as the Fence King, and he's been providing high-quality fence solutions since 1999. He's connected to industry leaders, business leaders, financing experts, and marketing gurus that will be on the show to talk about their success stories. To find out more about us, hit the website at myfencelife.com. Listen to the show wherever you consume your content. We are everywhere. Apple, Spotify, and Google Podcast. See you next time on My Fence Life.